Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Basketball fans of all ages. Welcome to Legends Talk, the live show where we sit down with iconic figures in the world of basketball and we delve into their untold stories that have shaped their legacies and their legendary careers. Join us as we give these living legends a spotlight to share their experiences, their triumphs, their challenges, all while offering a rare glimpse into the moments that made them the icons that they are today. Man, today we got a goodie. You know him as Joe Pope. That's my brother. That's the big bro, man. So, you know what I'm saying? He's a legend in his own right, man. Favorite, world famous announcer, MC, whatever you want to call it. The man is doing his thing, man, and we got him here tonight to tell his story, man. Tap in, go get your refreshments, go get your beer, your drinks, whatever you do, man. Go get it right now, cause we going up. Joe Pope, Legends Talk.
Yo,
What's going on, champ? How you, man?
I'm good, my guy. How are you, man? How's your day been?
Hey, man, I'm great, man. I'm blessed. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm breathing. I'm blessed, man. It's about you, though. How you doing, man?
I'm wonderful, man. Living my best life. Had a good summer this summer, so I'm living my best life right now. I'm just chilling.
Oh yeah, man. So first and foremost, man, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come talk to me, man. You know what I'm saying? All things hoops.
Yo, all things, man. You're a phenomenal guy, man. There's a lot of platforms out there, but consistency is the biggest part of it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys are consistent with what they do, but you have, generally been consistent about, giving us our flowers and letting us come out and show and talk to the world about the things we, accumulated, accolades, all that stuff. So, I appreciate that, man.
Hey man, this platform is here for you guys, man. It's here for the fans. It's here for the countless people that have put in their blood, sweat, and tears into this game, and it was your chance to be recognized, man. You know what I'm saying? I highly respect you. You know what I'm saying? Personally, on a personal note, highly respect you as a man and as an announcer in your craft.
Thank
And
you.
for years I've been watching, man, and now we here, man. So I appreciate you.
Yo, man, I thank you for that, man. Because getting where I'm at right now, not easy. You got to put in the work, and like I said, it's all about consistency.
Nah, it's facts.
My
Somebody
man
said,
Mike Glover just flashed it, huh? Huh?
no, I'm like, nah. We need it over here. We live, man. We live on a YouTube,
That's
man.
right. That's
But yeah,
right.
man, we gonna get right into it, man, with
Yeah.
Joe Pope, the legend, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start off at the very beginning.
Wow.
Where are you from,
All
and
right.
how did growing up there kind of help shape you as you were growing up?
Well, I grew up in Bronx River Projects, 174th Street. You know what I mean? And we had a community center, and a lot of people from all over would come through, and we had a couple of great mentors. My man Pat Jones, you know what I'm saying? My man Butch Perkins. We would go pay $1 to join the club, the community center, and he taught us basketball. And you know what's crazy? He always would say to us, he says, you guys got to learn fundamentals first.
Right.
And when he taught us the fundamentals of basketball, then you can be more creative in your craft, but you have to know the fundamentals. And you know what he did too? Like I tell a lot of young guys when I see them play ball, I say, well, bruh, you got to learn to lose before you can win. You have to. You have to be able to accept that. That makes you, more of a stand-up opponent. You know what I mean? So that,
Right.
Bronx River was my home.
Now you definitely like you really said some important things right there, man. Those are real gems right there. Because if you don't know how to lose gracefully, you're not gonna make it too far, man. Because you're gonna run into those obstacles, and you got to learn how to, maneuver around those obstacles.
Right.
But
Which is true, man.
so I mean, no wonder, Mike Glover's in here early, man. You from Bronx
Mike
River.
Glover's from Bronx River. He'll tell you about me. I taught him how to catch alley-oops one day. He was a young boy. I said, let's go in the park in back of your building. And I taught him how to catch some alley-oops. He'll tell you that. He'll tell you.
So, salute to that guy, Mike Glover, Ant Glover, the whole Glover posse.
Yeah. They had one brother that didn't play ball, but he was SWAT patrol. He was like, he had to be like 6'10", 6'11". He was SWAT patrol. You go to the cup, he sent it back down your throat, but he never was truly a baller like Mike and Ant, you know what I'm saying? But he could ball now,
Right. So now, before you even think about, picking up a mic, and doing the announcing thing, you were a baller yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about, when, like, around what time period in your life did you gravitate to basketball, and when did you start, loving the game?
I started loving the game like 83, 84, 85, the time Mike was coming out and all that, and basketball to me, it was an outlet, because when you grow up in the inner city, either you choose the left or the right, and a lot of us who play ball, we choose the right side, you know what I'm saying, to lead us to something else, and by doing that, it taught me more or less like, never in your life be afraid to succeed, never. You know what I mean? And that drove me to play ball. And I played a lot of ball. A lot of cats know me, man. Like guys like Speedy, he knows me very well. Shane the dribbling machine, they know me very well. My man Future, he knows me very well. We ball, we hoop together. A lot of cats say, yo, Joe Pope, man, oh, you just an announcer. And I said, in my heyday, I give you buckets. You know what I'm saying? I had, my game consists of me. This was my game. Vinnie Johnson mixed with Tim Hardaway. And a lot of say they could vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I was the top dog, but I put a lot of work in, and it was hard to guard me. I was good for 30 a game. And a lot of cats, you know what I mean?
Hey kids, man, I need y'all to go to YouTube and YouTube Vinnie Johnson, man. Word.
The microwave buckets. You know what I'm saying? So, and I played at Walton High School. Also, John Morton, Yoda came after me. Kerry Thompson came after me. And I played alongside in high school with the Predator. I was with him in his prime. He was supposed to be in the NBA. I mean, we all sometimes become a product of the environment, or we didn't have the resources. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I saw a lot of great players, and he was one. I'm telling you, he was one. His jumping ability was unbelievable.
Predator was mean, man. Especially, I think I caught him late, man, in the Kingdom era, and he was out there destroying cats and definitely making his presence felt out there. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of lessons did you learn from playing the game? You know what I'm saying? That kind of allowed you to transform into what you do today.
All right, I love the game. I would travel to every park just to play ball. Our home, a lot of these guys will tell you, was Noble Park, and then Bronx River, which was the big park. And then we would go over the whole avenue. You know what I mean? And, one day, my man Lee Green and my man AB, they started the tournament, Watson. And I went up the block to watch the tournament. I was thinking about playing, but, I felt like when you lose your first step, I'm going to tell a lot of you guys, sit down. Don't get out there when that first step is shaky. You know what I mean? Because when you lose that,
it's over.
You lose your ingenuity. But AB and Lee Green through the tournament, I went up the block. My man RA from Bronxdale, he was doing the mic. And, I was like, yo, I know I could do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I grabbed the mic one weekend and we got the park jumping. And like I said, we really had nothing to look for in the inner city sometime in the summertime. Either it was summer youth or basketball. or summer school. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to go to the park and MC those games, and it just burned in my soul. And I was like, yo, I think I could do this. I'm a pretty funny dude. So I added that with, knowing the game. A lot of guys that commentate the game never played basketball, but they're great. But if you play basketball and you're a good commentator, you can introduce people to things that they don't know about. Like a lot of people never really knew what a step back was, a spin move was, an in and out.
Right.
And we expressed that, and I brought that to the game so people have a clear understanding of what just happened, So that burned in my soul, brother.
Nah, right. You learn some of the nuances in the game, and like you said, the step backs and the the spins and things like that. But what kind of you said you kind of just tried it out, you gave it a try and you kind of liked it. But what else kind of inspired you to say, yo, I really want to take this to the next level? Not only kind of doing it at at Watson, in your backyard, so to speak, but I want to take this on the road. I want to do this as a, as a profession, so to speak, because that's what you did.
So what happened was when I was playing ball in Bronx River, and I kind of blew my knee out, like I tore my ACL, and it was never the same. I healed. It takes a whole year for that to happen, but I love basketball so much that when Lee and AB put me on to do that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to stick around the game. So we kept coming back every year to Watson, every year, and we did it. I stuck with them from like we started in 1999, and I stuck with them all the way to I'll say 2007, because I moved on, and I went up to Dykeman. Kenny gave me a shot. I went up there, and before I went to Kenny, I was at Tri-State. So I was trying to figure out and find a home, right, when it came to that, because Watson was my home. So we already had that rocking, but I wanted more. I wanted to go to different places and, bring my jokes, bring my energy. So I went to 145th. But before that, I did New Jersey, UBL. I don't know if you know about that, but that was the Uptown Basketball League. My man Smitty from Bronx River, he put me onto that. So after I did UBL, I did Watson, UBL, Tri-State, Dykeman. I touched Rucker Park here and there. When Greg was alive, he invited me down to do the Trayvon Martin game and stuff like that. I touched Rucker Park here and there, and I got some light there. I've done a few things outside of Rucker Park, and shouts to them. But that made me say, man, I know this could be lucrative, because a lot of people started calling me, and I want to say this, God, my man, rest in peace. You know who put me on? I'll get to him. Future gave me a shot, put me on. Shane put me on. You know what I'm saying? Especially my man Headache. My man Lonnie, God bless him, he passed away. And the reason I got with N1 when we did the last tour in Japan was Escalade. He came to me, he was like, yo, you dope. You dope. We want to fly you out to Japan. We want to put you on and you do the mic. And that was the biggest experience I've ever had, because our arenas are built different. We see 28,000, 30, maybe up to 40,000. Out there in Japan, 150,000 in the building. You can't beat that. And when I felt that, I knew it was my turn. You know what I'm saying? Because in this game, like AG said, AG had put up a post about how we all came after each other. I respect him for that. And he named everybody, you know what I'm saying? From beginning to end. I'm not going to go through all the names, but AG did it the best. And, I wanted more. And it was more like, if I'm not going to want to work a 9 to 5 or work for somebody, punching the clock and never getting no rest and up the next day and down the night, I said, you know what? I got to figure out a way to put my foot in that game. And it took me a while, but I did it,
Nah, that's a fact. You did it, man. And you did it in a legendary way as well. You did it your own way.
Right.
Man, 1999, that's you got some years under your belt, man, with that, man.
Yeah.
So some of the kids that's watching this was probably, not even born at that time, but
right.
You know what I'm saying? So you definitely put in your work and your blood, sweat, and tears into this craft. And that's big, man. Japan, that's huge, man.
Four times.
Over the course of your career, What were some other memorable moments that that kind of stand out in your mind that you want to share?
Okay, when Watson was, we were at our peak. Shouts to my man Lee Green Gilly, AB. You know, when Watson was at his peak, you know what, you know what burned my soul and made me understand that if we got this guy coming to our park on Saturdays and Sundays and pulling up in the beach chair and sit under the basket and watch our games and enjoy them, I said we doing something. And you know who that was? Greg Maris. Greg Maris from 155th. He pulled up and he said to me one day, I'll never forget this. He said, yo, Joe Pope, come here, man. He said, I got my MCs downtown, but you're a great MC. He said, make sure you know your worth. Make sure you know that, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to come at you and they want to give you what they want you to have, but they want the best. No, it has to equal out. If you want the best, you got to pay for the best. So Greg Maris, rest in peace, he taught me that. You know what I'm saying? He made me understand that if we got him to come to Watson Park every weekend, I mean, probably 2-3 weekends in a row, but he was there, I said, we making some noise in the Bronx. We're making some noise because, you know, Watson Park was in the center of the melting pot at that time. Right. You know what I mean? Watson was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Bronx River. Then we had Brownsdale, and we had Monroe and Soundview. I mean, it was in an uproar. You know what I'm saying? And the best part about Watson Park is it was neutral ground. All the projects played, you know, and like you said, you know, tell you some memorable points. My man, when Kenny Satterfield used to come out, he used to kill. Corey Fisher came out, he used to kill. Drop 105 points in Dykeman, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, who else came out there? Kimber Walker used to come out and kill. He was a young boy. I mean, he was young. Like we were getting to see a pro in progress. Get what I'm saying? And Ron Artez even came out. At that time, he was big to us. You know what I mean? And he came and he showed that love. You know, and then Strickland. You know what I'm saying? You know, Strickland came out.
Hey, that's you know, those cats alone.
Yeah, man.
That's a legendary group right there.
Yeah.
But like, all right, so like as a legend in the field of announcing street ball, whatever the case, how have you seen the street ball culture evolve over the years, and what kind of impact has it had on the community, do you think?
I'll say this. All the commissioners from all the tournaments in each borough, a lot of people think that is an easy job, but it's not an easy job, because a lot of these guys that run the tournaments, I'm talking about Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, all of our boroughs, even Westchester with the new one. A lot of these guys that run those tournaments have families of their own, right? Have full-time jobs of their own. And what it did to a lot of kids in the communities that I've done these games in, it made them understand that nothing's ever lost. You have another chance. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of young people give up because it's lack of guidance. And when you get these kids to want to go to college, to want to make something of themselves, but they got to play in this tournament, even though they go into this major school, they got to come home and play in these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? It changed the community and it made it look like our hood NBA, because a lot of guys do make it, a lot of guys don't make it. But if they don't make it to the league after college, they always came back to Dykeman. They always came back to Watson. They always came back to Tri-State. They always came back to 155th. You understand what I'm saying? So it wasn't lost to them. They had somewhere to go to express themselves. And it made young men understand that it is more to basketball, because a lot of these young men went on to get scholarships and get their degrees. So it changed the fate of some of the things that could happen to them, because like I say, life's full of choices. It's the one you choose you got to live with. If you choose to go right, you might get go to college, get some help and get in there and make something of yourself. If you go left, then you know what that is. That's the path to destruction. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's dope, man. And like you touched on earlier, man, a lot of these courts were neutral grounds to, you know what I'm saying, to the beefs and to the, you know what I'm saying, the turmoil that was going on around you. So, you know what I'm saying, this was a place to kind of everybody gather and watch a game and have
Like
fun and
a
laugh.
basketball sanctuary. It was kind of like a sanctuary. Facts. We had our ups and downs now. We all had, because it come with the territory. But once everything is understood, that listen, man, these kids ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all come out here, y'all watch the game, and let these kids make something of themselves. And with that, they're gonna need your help. You understand what I'm saying? So
absolutely, man. So when you started doing your thing in terms of the announcing, did you wing it, or did you, like, you know what I'm saying, did you study any of the other announcers on how they did it and try to emulate
you said that? I'm glad you said that. I gotta give my hat off to Al Cash, Duke Tango, Booby Smooth, Hannibal, you know, Gumby, Brawley, all those cats, you know what I'm saying? Because if they didn't pave the way and do that, a lot of us young guys now wouldn't even have the opportunity to be out there. And like we spoke about earlier, like basketball without an announcer in New York City is just another pickup game. I don't care what anybody say. It'll be like watching a tennis match with nobody have nothing to say. So I take my hat off to all those guys because they paved the way. And one thing about me, I learned a lot from Duke Tango and Al. They gave names out, and that kind of was a good running thing at the time. You know, I never stole none of their names because, you know, I don't want nobody to hit me up like Joe Pope, get out of here. But I made my own names, and I gave, and I learned to do this. I learned to take a game that people didn't think was great and turn it into something special, you know? And that just was my forte when I started that, you know what I'm saying? To make sure that I keep the legacy going for Duke and all the guys that did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like all the announcers before me. And another one that embraced me and showed me love and put me on the map heavy was my man Bobito. Bobito took good care of me. He never, it was never a competition. He would say, yo, Joe Pope, come get with me. I'm going to do the regular commentator and you're the color commentator. You know, we did Elite 24. We did so many things together. You know what I mean? So my hat goes off to all those guys. And you know, there's a thought in my head. I wish some of us would sit down and get together and kind of make a union for announcers so they really understand our worth. You understand? That's pretty much my idea. But if we got together and formed a union and they have to call us to make their tournament what it is, everybody would have a job. It wouldn't be like, oh, one day you work and one day. No, you're under paper. Here you go. You work here this week. You switch up. You work this week, and we make some money and give back to our community as far as like keeping Streetball alive.
No, that's a fact, man. You mentioned a lot of legendary figures, man, in terms of the announcing. I got to throw my man, the Voice of Harlem, in there.
Hold on. Before I even
put
my foot in my mouth, AG, when I went to 116th to the tournament down there, I said, yo, he made me go, I gotta get me a style. I can't wiggy like my man. But AG, you're one of the top announcers that I came up under and watched you perform and knew I had to have that energy, knew I had to have that knack and had to be witty when it came time to get out on that floor and call a game, you know? So AG, Voice of Harlem, thank you so much, because that's my guy. And he would have been like, yo, Joe Pope, you ain't mentioned me. You know what I'm saying?
I can't let you leave that man out, man. There's so many.
AG, Rick, that's right, chicken noodle soup. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And, I mean, there's so many people, man, that kind of, you know, did their things, you know, in terms of the announcing and did it their way, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Just you showing that love and respect to those cats, definitely is respected.
And you know who else also too? I mean to cut you off.
No, who else?
Taz. My man Carlos.
Marcus.
Jose.
Jose.
Taz.
Nah,
what I'm saying?
Taz is Marcus. Taz
And
is Marcus, and
yeah,
Jose
those
is
guys, those
yeah,
guys
Jose.
also, because they
Yeah,
were
yeah, we
around when
did
I
them
was
things too.
building my career, and I got love from Taz and I got love from Jose. So I'm gonna shout them out too, because those guys belong in that bracket. No matter how long you did it, at least you had enough nerve to get out there and do it. A lot of guys will say, do it this way, do it that way. And when they get on the mic, it's like, forget about it. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Oh,
Facts. And we got a couple of cats. Yo. My man disappeared. What's going on? But yeah, man, it's crazy how the announcers, man, the announcers are legendary, man. It's like sometimes they turn a bad game into something great. You know what I'm saying? And you could find yourself at a bad game and laughing your ass off at the game. You know what I'm saying? Still, I hope we ain't lose the connection, but you know what I'm saying? Definitely well respected individual in this arena, man. And you know, I'm happy to be able to get a chance to give my man those flowers. Let me see if he tapped back in. But you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to know anything particular, leave it in the comments. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, we here to show my man some love and that appreciation for doing what he do. At the same time, I definitely want to learn about all right, here you go right here.
I
I
had
want to
some
learn.
technical difficulties when I'm back, my brother.
That's what happens when we live, baby. It's all good.
Yeah, you know, that's
It's
what
all
happens when
good.
you live in a rural area and shit. You know.
But yeah, man. I was just saying, man. Like somebody that is able to give that love to somebody else, man, is much respected. And you got guys now, you know what I'm saying, that are doing that thing now. That even if they don't mention it, man, they you know is a must that they had to have studied and known their history. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
and where it came from.
A history about that is real important, because, like you said, like I say, a lot of guys that want to MC, you can't just get out there and get the mic and think you're gonna call a game. You have to understand the game. You have to know some of the players. You have to have been able to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the new up and coming MCs now. I mean, like, you know, I've done my thing. I've moved on, and I still come home and do my thing. You know, at Pro City. You know what I'm saying? This year I got to do World Basketball Fest and stuff like that, and I've done that World Basketball Fest by myself in Washington, D.C. at the Armory alone. There was no other MCs there with me. I was a guy calling all the games. I did everything. And now to see that some of these young brothers are really taking their craft serious, you know, a lot of people always look to be like, oh, this guy's the best, that guy's the best. No, we all the best. We all the best, you know. And I want to shout out a few young guys like Cha-Ching. He's doing his ones and twos. He's got high school games on lock. Like, you got to respect that. Like, anybody can say what they want, but the young man made sure that he did his homework for what he does. And nobody can ever step in the way of that. Mr. Spicy, you know, Jaden, he's doing his thing. You know, they rock together. You know, there's a few other Rel from 155th. He's doing his ones and twos right now too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know EJ's son's name. Man, call him Lil EJ, but EJ's sons who rocks with him, Rel at 155th, he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it comes a time in this game where you have to pass the torch. But if you're a good MC and you respect everybody's craft, you stay relevant. You stay relevant to the situation. Nobody can say, oh, you know, you stunk it up. Oh, you get old. Nah, this is what I do, you know?
Right. Now, of course. Now, there's one game I gotta say personally that I remember, you know what I'm saying, Joe Pope for, and that was the game at Dykeman basketball up in the Heights, and you were calling the game. KD came, Kevin Durant came to the court. You know what I'm saying, came to New York, and he played versus Mike Beasley, and you know what I'm saying, that was a situation, man. That was a moment in time, a moment in history that that you kind of, you know what I'm saying, you did your thing that game. I was maybe, I think I was on a gate, man, probably about 30, 40 feet up in the air. I had my own view.
It was crazy out there.
And just the feel, man, the feel of how everything went in terms of how you called that game and how you brought the crowd into it, and got the best of those guys to, you know what I'm saying, to perform.
Right.
It was eloquent, man, to say the least.
Wow.
So, but yeah, man, that's my memory of Joe Pope. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could take that away from me, man.
And you know what's crazy? That solidified street ball. That those Michael Beasley and KD, that solidified street ball. It solidified Dykeman. It made Dykeman, because Rucker Park had him the week before, and he over solidified them, which they are the top of the pick of the litter. I mean, we can't say anything else. But at that time, when he came up to Dykeman, it was nuts. I'm talking about when it took me 20 minutes to get in the park, and I was emceeing the game. They had tickets. That's how real it was. And I never forget this one. And like I said, I give everybody their flowers. KD and Michael Beasley was guarding two other people. You were there. I didn't have that. I said, you come into New York City, these young guys are going to guard you. But if a pro on one team, a pro on another team, it's pro on pro. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Let's see what y'all, y'all in the big leagues. Let's see what y'all do there. And they both put on the show, And I got to give flowers to one guy he played, they called him the Big Bully. You know who I'm talking about? The Big Bully.
I don't remember him.
All right, he played with 914.
Okay. I definitely remember 914. You don't remember his name?
Nah, man, he was a football player too. A lot of cats know what I'm talking about. He was a football player. So this is when I knew, like, he was the big bully. He'd get his buckets and all that. But this is when I knew he was a little different than a lot of guys that played out there. Yo, I know that ain't my girl, Erin. What's up, E? Yo, he was what's up, E?
I had to bring Erin on real quick, man.
That's family right there, man.
Yo, Joe. Today we are giving you your flowers today, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I had to bring Erin on. I know that's your girl.
Yeah, so, that's the best. That's one of the greatest photographers ever to touch street ball ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
She took our IG and made it impeccable. I mean, like from every year. But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. That guy, the Big Bully, right? You can check it out. One play, they dumped him the ball on the right side, and he one step, and he dunked it on KD. But a lot of people ain't gonna say that. If you watch it, you'll see it. You know why I can say that? I was there. You feel me on that? I take nothing from KD. You're one of the greatest ever. But my man gets his flowers from me, because that threw me for a loop. I was shocked.
Now, of course. But with that said, man, I want Erin to get a chance, the opportunity to say some words about Joe Pope, man, the legend. We here for you. We here for you, Trent. We here for you.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to pop in on your conversation. I appreciate that. I appreciate the invitation, Cal. Excuse me, I've been losing my voice today, so. I won't take up much of your time. This is your time to shine, as you very well deserve, from all the amazing things that you've done. But I will say, working with him at Pro City over the last few years has just been too much fun. Literally, my face hurts. Every time I leave that gym, my face hurts. There is no one funnier. There is no one more entertaining, no one wittier than Joe on the mic. And he lights up the gym, and he's a good human on the mic and off. We have great conversations. He always is looking out. And I just am incredibly appreciative of his friendship and his contributions, obviously to the culture and to New York City basketball scene.
Wow.
So forever grateful that, you know, our paths have crossed in this journey, and obviously nothing but love for you always and forever. And you know, we're locked in, we're family now. So
always, you know that.
Hey,
You my girl
hey,
right there. You the bomb, man. You the
that's
bomb.
big time.
Like
That's
the
big
commercial
time.
you and my man shot for us this summer.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah,
That's part, that goes in the,
I was gonna pay for it to be on the 42nd Street billboard, but I ain't have it. You know? You know
No,
what
but I
mean?
loved it because even the photo that you used for the Legends Talk,
oh
that's
yeah.
my photo. And I love it, the way he has that. And then the second one with his big Pope ring. Like, I mean, come on, look at the guy. Come on.
Thank you guys. I really
He's
appreciate
always
that.
drippy. I mean, he always is fly as soon as he
You
walks
work
in.
hard, you get what you want, right? Remember that. And you
There
go
you go.
hard. There's nobody more dedicated to than you and my man right here to street ball when it comes to giving that oomph to it. You know what I mean? Y'all, you guys are dedicated. Like, I'll call you sometime and me and you be on the phone for half hour laughing, talking, you know what I'm saying? He calls me, I'll call him, and we do the same because we share the same interests and we make sure that, you know, we always connect, you know, but you guys are a major part. You say I'm a big part, I appreciate that. But you guys are the visual parts. You guys are the conversational parts. You know what I mean?
No
and
doubt.
without that, it's just hearsay.
Yeah, Erin, thank you so much for coming up real quick to share those words about Joe. I appreciate that.
You know, anytime. I always make time for the people that are important, and Joe is absolutely one of them. So I'm so glad that you were giving him his flowers tonight. I'm happy to be a part of it. Mwah. You know, I love you to pieces.
Love you too, sis.
And thank you again, Cal, for letting me jump in on it for the invitation. I didn't just jump in for the invitation.
Yo.
So y'all keep going.
All
it's
right.
amazing to see both of you, and I know I'll see both of you soon.
All right, you be good, Erin.
All right, you too.
All right. Ballers Journal. Yeah. And I gotta give out some flowers too, man. Cause you know, like you recognize the MCs, but we gotta recognize the DJs. And I had three of the best DJs that a streetball MC could have. You know, and I'm gonna start from my beginning to my end. The first DJ was my man Fashion from Monroe Projects, DJ Fashion. He was my first DJ, and he bought it. You know what I mean? And he just was a DJ, like he knew what to play when it was time. You know? Then, you know, at Tri-State, we didn't have no music. It was no music, like AG song was no music. But then when I got up to Dykeman, I remember Kenny Stevens bringing in Ted Smooth. Ted Smooth is a phenomenal DJ when it comes to street ball. You know, he's the first guy that put a lot of things in the mix with what I was doing on the mic. And then my second to last DJ was my man. You know my ace, my guy. We always travel together. We work together. We argue and fight all the time, you know, but he's my brother, DJ Arthur Raj. You know what I'm saying? And when me and him got together, we killed Miami Pro. He brought so much energy down there to Miami Pro. Then he came, then me and him also came back to Pro City together. You know what I'm saying? So he was the guy that added, him and Ted Smooth were the two guys that took the sound effects and put them into street ball. You know, and shout out to Anton Merchant's brother, my man Gavin from the Rose Classic. He DJed with me this summer, you know, and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? He's a party DJ. He turned the basketball game into a party like we had Lennox Lounge. You heard me, fam? He did it like that. So I really didn't want to forget that part because sometimes, like they said, a DJ and an MC, they make one another.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Right.
Real quick. I wanna also, you know what I'm saying, give the opportunity to someone else to share, you know what I'm saying, share some words, you know what I'm saying, some words about you.
Okay.
And give you your flowers, man.
Thank you,
my
brother.
man and yours.
Yo, they threw.
What up?
Yo, what's up, B? You know, I'm gonna get you. They threw you out the league. What you doing? Come on, Draymond. Stop fighting people, Draymond.
Hey, you know this dude don't even get on camera. You know this dude don't even get on camera.
Yeah.
But when I told him, yo,
this is different.
We honoring my man Joe Pope. He said, yo, I gotta jump on. So here he is, man. Out of hibernation. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
in the mountains somewhere.
Before we give, you know, I want to say something. When my chips was down and I was messed up after, you know, things went south with me and I didn't have a home anymore. And Bernard called me out the blue and said, Joe Pope, I'm going to send you down to Miami to do Miami Pro. Don't worry about it. He even came down there and chilled out and hung out with me for a couple of days, ate up my food and left. But that's my man, you know what I'm saying? He looked out for me, you know? He was a crutch to me when my chips were down. And with fight ball and all that, I in Pro City, I thank you, man. I thank you, my brother. You hear me, Steak Face? You know, I'm gonna throw a couple of jokes in there, Steak Face. Go ahead.
Nah, man. Listen, man. I usually don't do this, but I had to come and give my guys flowers, man. Friendship for 20 years. I appreciate you, Joe. You know what I'm saying, for what you've done for the culture. And we just getting started, man. Everybody check out my man Joe on Saturday night, 11:30, Fight Ball. He's gonna be on the Yes Network. So shout out to my man Joe. He's been doing this thing for a long time. So I just wanted to stop by real quick and give you your flowers, man. Thank you for what you've done for the community, for the basketball culture, for Miami Pro, for Nike Pro City, WBF. When we first started that whole Nike thing, the original. You know what I'm saying?
Bernard's the first guy to get me a big check. I mean, a nice one. You know, he ain't the handsomest dude in the yearbook, but that's my man. You hear me? He knows he should have came on here because this is what we do when I call him alone. Man.
Hey,
No
man.
doubt.
Hey,
man,
Bernard giving them big checks out, man. Bernard giving them big checks out, man.
Don't put him on blast like that. That was a while back.
Nah.
World Basketball Fest. He's the one that came for me when I was down. And like I said, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been going on. He showed me that love and told me, Joe, I need you. Let's do this. Don't worry about that. It'll pass. And he put me in a position to be able to get here.
Nah, he definitely said he had to come on and show some love to the legend, Joe Pope.
Nah, for sure. One of the best to do it, man. That's my guy. Like Erin said, man, this guy's never a dull moment with this guy. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? I appreciate it.
I call you at the worst time in your life. You get off the phone like, yo, you stupid. That's what I'm here for, man. My soul is based on humor, fellas. Don't ever forget that. If I don't joke with you, that means we ain't good like that. But if I joke with you, my love is your love. Facts.
I appreciate you, B.
Always.
No, all right, y'all.
Born, everybody, Bernard Born.
I'm out of here. Peace.
My man.
But yeah, man. Just a couple people, man, that really wanted to come on and found it imperative to show that love. You know what I'm saying? Show that love. We had my man authorized, but he said he had something going on. He was like, damn, yo, I thought it was early. I can't do it. But he was definitely in thought as well.
Yeah. I figured you know him. That's my man, Don Juan DeMarco. That's Don Juan DeMarco.
He's working. But yeah, man. I just wanted to ask you, man, in terms of your craft, like, how do you maintain the high energy and the enthusiasm that's required for streetball announcing, especially during, like the close, intense games?
You have to love the game. You have to love what you do. In order to stay involved, you have to love what you do. Just like you're consistent. You love what you do. You interview top dudes in this game. You have to love it in order to sit down and have a conversation with them. I have to love it in order to go out there and give my all and make sure these guys enjoy what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's all about loving what you do, and I can't say it any plainer.
Nah, that's a fact right there. You gotta love. If you don't love it, it's gonna show. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's gonna show.
Right.
And if it shows, then why you out there for? You know what I mean?
That's right. You well said. You gotta love what you do. And like I say to a lot of cats, young cats, like, oh, I want to be an announcer. I want to give a shout out to my man Keyshawn too, who does Top of the Hill tournament over in Saquon Houses across from Soundview.
Salute.
When me and him met, I talked with him. I showed him some things, and that kid is phenomenal. I'd like to see him on a higher platform. I'd like to see him because he's got it. You know what I mean? So I just,
I definitely saw him at Watson a couple times too.
Yeah,
right?
Keyshawn. Yeah. And bro, he could dance like no other. He gonna kill me for that. But homeboy could dance like no other. They don't want no smoke with him. He gets down. I'm gonna tell you that.
Shout out to Keyshawn, man. Joe, so like, what's the key, man? What's the surprise? I mean, like the key to like creating that electric atmosphere, man, for streetball games, and how do you keep the crowd like so engaged and throughout your entire event? Like, what is the secret sauce behind doing that?
I got the players on the courts. I got the refs. They're gonna definitely get their love, but in order to keep a crowd involved in street ball, you gotta draw them into the crowd, draw them into the game. You gotta be able to talk with them, shoot a good joke. They shoot a good joke back. Keep their minds focused on this player that's gonna make you watch what he's about to do. You know what I mean? It's the energy, and it's about keeping the crowd involved. If you don't involve the crowd, or you don't involve people that are just there, people are gonna be like, he all right. You gotta make sure you tell the people in the crowd who don't know basketball but love it, tell them what's going on. Tell them they came looking good to play ball today. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, how you feel about this guy. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I like the joke. So if you come in my park with something crazy on, I'm not going to insult you and hurt your feelings, but I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't have wore that in my park. You know what I'm saying? You've been with me, and those are my things. Drawing the crowd. Right. This is what I do. I draw the crowd on the court, and then I interact with them while they're on the court. You get what I'm saying? Not literally, but I draw them to that game, and then I involve them. And when you joke, you have to be tasteful. You can't hit below the belt. You can't dog people out. You tell them a good joke or who you look like or what you're wearing, and we'll all laugh about it. Because I feel this way in street ball. Some people have gotten mad with me, and I get it. But if you could come to the park and laugh at everybody else, you could be laughed at too. And it's all in good fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about keeping the crowd in the game, letting them know that they're part of this game, and making these players that people say, oh, he's okay. You may bring out the best of those players who people say they're not that great. You may say something like, I remember a good game at Dykeman where my man Damu, you know what I'm talking about, Damu? He was up and coming. He was young, and he grew well in the basketball game. But there was one day I told him, me and him talking, I was like, yo, man, this is big today. And you know what? He showed up. No, I mean like really showed up and has been showing up ever since. Right. I was there with him. I was there with who else? What's my man's name, man? There's so many names to go to.
There's a lot of names.
Jordan Theodore.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Jordan. He's overseas right now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When Jordan came out, Xbox, all the young guys, Too Hard to Guard. I was working with them when they were in their prime, when it was showtime. You understand what I'm saying? And it's many, many more. I can't name everybody, but those are the guys that I watched grow in basketball and still did it. Too Hard to Guard went to DR. Your man Damu still playing on 10 games a day sometime, I think. I'm just joking, but 10 games a day. But Damu showed up this summer in Pro City and all that. You know what I'm saying? But there's one guy I got to give him a shout out. Twin son.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't know what I told that kid at the game, the championship, but he showed up. I had to give him a new name. His new name is Sudden Impact. Because suddenly he made an impact and killed everything, man. I got to give Twin son a shout out. That's my man, Sudden Impact.
He's tough. Mr. James. He's tough. And I always say, like, he should be overseas right now playing ball. He should.
Same height as my man Avery Johnson from San Antonio, Spud Webb, and he got hard. He got hard. He distribute the ball. He give fouls, you know. I mean, you know, it's all about 6'10" and 6'11" and all that right now. But if we look back at the guards that was under 6 feet, that was poison, Tim Hardaway, poison. John Stockton.
What's crazy is that he can still get buckets with those people on the court. You know what I'm saying?
I seen him go up against 7-footers, teardrop their head off, and it goes. You know, I watch him win games, man. I watch the kid involve his team, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a true floor general to me.
Nah, that's a fact.
To be a young guy.
Now we would probably be doing a disservice to the basketball community if I didn't mention, you know, to tell me about the times that you were frustrated or, you know what I'm saying, think about quitting this thing and you know what I'm saying, and just like not really feeling it in terms of doing what you do in terms of your craft. Tell me about how you were able to rebound and what kind of things were going through your mind in terms of leaving the game alone and what kind of drew you back.
Just to be honest, it really was never about the pay. When I started this, it was never about the pay. It was because I loved it. And things have gotten frustrating for me when a lot of our games got rained out. And
yeah.
A lot of guys said, you know, I got this for you, and they never came through, and I let it roll off my back because Mom always taught me you can't squeeze blood out of stone. So if you love the game, you stick around and things will change. But there's times you do want to break from it. There's times that it becomes overwhelming. You know what I mean? It does. It's like any other job. A lot of people take, you know, like MCing. Instead of using it as like a part-time job, I made it a full-time job for me. Traveling the world, doing college games, working at this college, that college. And I had to put my work in to get to that level. And so I could change the narrative for a lot of young brothers. You know, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn, but at the end of the day, I was one of the first MCs from Streetball to hit the Dean Center, you know, where Michael Jordan played. I was one of the first MCs, and I said to myself, this shit opened the doors for all the young guys that's coming after me. But they got to put their foot in the door. They're not going to call for them. You have to make your presence felt. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And a young lady named Paris Keys, she played for UNC. She put me on to UNC, Paris Keys. And now she's assistant coach for the women at Wake Forest.
It's not who you know. I mean, what you know is who you know.
Yeah, it's who you know.
Nah, that's a fact, man.
Actual.
Like you've been through so many different games, so many different players. But in terms of it, like I mentioned, the KD and Mike Beasley game. Were there any memorable games for you that you couldn't believe that you were actually there, you know, in real life calling the game?
At Tri-State with Mousy, when Ron Artest and his brother came to play against Rolando Blackman, and Ron Artest got a fast break, and Balkman jumped with him, and he dunked it on him with the left hand and told Balkman, I'll never forget, I was right there. He said, that's what I'm going to do to you when the season starts. and I couldn't believe that I was there. And watching Kareem Reed put in work, watching Kenny Sack put in work, watching Kimba come back home and play the same way he played before he left. You know what I mean? Watching Strickland kill at will. And you know who my backcourt partner was? A lot of people didn't know that. And he found me in Bronx River and took me to West 4th, and we won a championship down there. It was a Terminator. I was a young cat. He was like, yo, Joe Pope, meet me down at West 4th. Me, him, Richie Simmons, Sal, my man Meatloaf. I had a crew, you know, but I was a young boy, and I was their floor general. I could handle a rock. So Term was like, you get that ball over half court, you get at the whoever, and then you cut. If they give it back, you make the bucket. So that's the agreement we had. So I played with a lot of cats that could hoop. There was one cat that a lot of people may know and may not know. He was white chocolate before white chocolate, you know, and his name was Danny Torado. He played alongside with me at Columbus Boys Club with Julius Allen. Julius Allen and Butch Perkins taught me basketball. You know, Jew took me out the hood. I was out there doing no good, and I'm going to be real about it. I was doing no good, and Butch introduced me to Julius, and Julius came to Bronx River and picked up me and my friend Chili and say, every day until the summer begins, y'all bring y'all behinds to the boys club. Even if we didn't have money, we would get there. He would take us home in a cab because he lived in Soundview. He'd drop us off near Bronx River, and he'd keep going. So he changed my life. You know, like, you know, we were out there doing wrong. And he was one man that he didn't care what your background was. He didn't care if you didn't have anything. He didn't care. He cared about you. You know what I'm saying? Julius Allen.
No, that's real. It's rare that you find people that really care about the person. You know what I'm saying? Rather than trying to trying to use you for a come up or whatever the case may be. Boy, yeah, once you find those people, you got to stay close to them. And definitely,
you know,
man.
You know, a lot of us grew up in the inner city with broken homes, you know, and he was that dude. He couldn't fix your home, but he can help you find yourself in the process. And that's what he did for a lot of us. You know, Artie Green also from Kips Bay. That's my good friend. Artie Green will tell you too, when I was hooping, I remember Brian Reese was up and coming. I gave him buckets like 50. But Artie Green will tell you that. I ain't disrespecting B. Reese because there's no way in the world I could ever jump with him or compete with him when he made it to the next level. But when we were coming up together, we went to war. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, it's a gladiator sport, man. And if you can't, look at that as a trophy, in itself, you know what I'm saying? That's your trophy that you have, your 40, your 50, or whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you scored, that's your trophy. So you could tell our story. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I was there.
How do you feel about this whole like social media thing, man, in terms of the technology and the culture, man? Do you think it's changing the way that games are experienced and shared? And how does it impact your role?
You know, it's good that you say that. Social media is okay. You know, it's a great platform for kids to get recognized, and but I see a lot of people live by that, like that just because I had a crossover and 20 points in that game and probably never showed up the next 5 games. You know, that's unfair to a lot of guys that put that work in that are not even being broadcasted on there. And I'll tell you what social media did to us as a whole, as everyone. Social media made us less sociable. You know, man, we used to, if I wanted to talk to you in the 80s, I had to wait till you got home or beep you, right? Beep you or wait till you got to the crib, because now it's like, oh, I'm going to hit you on this, I'm going to hit you on that. I'm taking nothing from nobody. A lot of guys are getting big opportunities because of this. I mean, that's amazing, right? But at the end of the day, you have to understand that everything that glitter ain't gold. A lot of guys can play. A lot of guys are flukes too. And I've been around the game long enough to say that. A lot of guys are flukes too. Oh, this guy's this, this guy's that guy. Go to the next level.
You get exposed.
Right. And then he playing for the Kentucky Hubcaps. You know what I'm saying? The CBA. Feel me on that note? But, I take nothing from it. It's an amazing thing. That's from me to you. But it's an amazing thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It broadens our horizons, but to a limit.
Somebody in the comments wanted just a little bit of elaboration on your experience with Elite 24 and getting a chance to commentate with the legendary Barbito Garcia.
Wow. Barbito hit me up one time. He said, Joe Pope, I'm going to bring you in. We're flying out to LA, to Venice Beach, and my man Mike Parker, he said, Joe Pope, I'm going to hire you to do this, and I'm going to need you to bring it. So they bought the Brooklyn Nets MC. He did his thing so it could be, broadcast, but we were pretty much the in-house MCs of the game. And I got to see guys like Brandon Ingram, You know what I'm saying? I got to see guys like Whitehead.
Before there was anybody.
Before Emmanuel Mudiay, Dennis Smith. I was around them when they were still in high school, before they made it to college. So Elite 24 is the top 24 kids around the world playing in that league. Even my man, and he's killing them. He left Utah. Let me see if you know him. He left Utah and he went over to where? Come on, man. I'm going to hold you to that one. I'm not even going to tell you.
This is your time, man. This is your time.
And he got the hops that you wouldn't believe.
He left Utah.
Right.
Man, I asked the questions today, man.
Nah, I'm on your back because we culturize it. So I'm going to need your help.
Oh, man. You're going to have me do I got to do more homework, man. I got to do more homework.
He played for Utah.
Utah to college or Utah Jazz?
No, Jazz, and he just left. They sent him somewhere else, maybe a year ago.
Oh, you talking about Dante Exum?
No, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell. All right, Spider.
I gotta send you this one picture from Elite 24. Somebody took the ball out on the opposite end of the court, and they threw an alley-oop from the opposite end of the court. And you know what? He went upstairs and got it with one hand and finished. He was raw. He was raw.
He was something different. He was something different for sure.
So the person asked about Elite 24. I got to rub elbows with those guys before they started making the big bucks, before they went to the league, before they even got near the draft. I was around those guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a great feeling to be able to say that I was there and I know these kids, you know?
Wow, that's dope. That's a dope experience, man. And to be around legendary Barbito Garcia.
He's the best, man.
Yeah, that's the cherry on top right there.
That's my guy right there, man. You know what I mean? Love Bob. Bob's a non-selfish dude, man.
But yeah, Joe, man, we coming up to that hour mark, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could do this all day, all day long. But I got one more question for you, man. Looking ahead, what are your hopes and aspirations for the future of streetball announcing, and how do you plan to continue leaving a lasting legacy in this field?
Like I said to you earlier in the show, there's so many great MCs now, and a lot of people are relevant with it. We need to have a union where they have to sign us to do certain things to help them. Help us help you. Don't just, have us around and deal with us just during the summertime. And you know what I mean? A lot of people show love. My man, Reggie Freeman, me and Reg played in 155th together too with the posse. I left my mark down there too. My man, Big Les, Big Maniac. I dropped 35 that evening.
Yeah, you got 35 on Reg?
No. Reg was on my team. Not on Reg Freeman. Don't start no junk. I know he's like,
that's my man. That's my man.
Look. I'm gonna make you laugh. This is Reg's face right now when you said that.
Yeah. What?
That's my man. Now I played alongside him, and then he left to go to Texas, and we missed him. We needed him.
Yeah, salute Reg Freeman,
you know
man, and all of the New York City legends that made your job easy. You know what I'm saying? It made your job fun. It made you want to be around those guys and bring your enthusiasm out and brought your funny side out and it just did, you know what I'm saying? It did what it was supposed to do, man, and it was a perfect marriage. You guys were like, you know what I'm saying? You with the announcing and the actual players with their play.
Right.
That was a perfect marriage, man. But yo, Joe, man, I want to appreciate you.
Nah, love is love, brother.
You know what I'm saying? We do this on a regular.
Yeah, we always, me and you call each other on them days like, how was your day, my dude? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
So this right here is even better that we got to have a conversation where everybody can hear what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and like I said, I like to give love to all the big tournaments in New York, even the new ones that's coming out in Brooklyn, Zone 6, you know, everything in Brooklyn. I don't know all the names, Gersh, I know that. But all the tournaments that are up and coming right now, I just have one thing to say to all y'all MCs, yo, you can make it, but you just have to want it, and you have to remain loving it. When you stop loving something, that's when things change. You know? So.
Hey, man, we're gonna leave it right there, man. Love is love. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Thank you for all the love. Thank you to Erin from Baller's Journal. Thank you, Bernard Bowen, for tapping in, showing that love to, you know what I'm saying, to our guy, Joe Pope. And with that, man, much love, much respect, champ.
Love to you too, man. You be good, my brother. We talk soon, all right?
No doubt,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Appreciate
all right.
you.
One.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, man. Another edition of Legends Talk, man. Another episode in the books. Legendary Joe Pope, man. That's no slouch in the announcing arena. You know what I'm saying? One of the pioneers. We got a chance to learn a lot of things that we ain't know about him. And you know, for that, I'm truly humble and truly grateful, man. Until next week. Well, next week we'll probably be taking a little bit of a hiatus. But I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. May everybody go out there, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families. Make sure you're doing so and being safe at the same time. And with that, man, we out of here. Till next time, Legends Talk.